Welcome to The Core, where we're planting the seeds to financial success. I'm Colten Hibbs, Education Credit Union's Financial Health Coordinator, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today. Each episode of The Core is designed to enhance your financial knowledge and give you the information you need to reach your goals. Today, I'm joined with Jessie Joseph. Jessie is the marketing supervisor at Education Credit Union, where she has been part of the marketing team for 3 years. A 2021 graduate of West Texas A&M University, go Buffs, with a Bachelor of Science in Advertising and Public Relations, as well as a minor in Communication Studies, Jessie brings a fresh perspective as a young professional navigating the world of adulting. And beyond her role at ECU, Jessie is active in the community through her involvement with the Young Professional Marketing Group, Add to Amarillo, and her volunteer work with the organizations like Amarillo Habitat for Humanity and the Special Olympics of the Texas Panhandle. She's passionate about learning and sharing insights about balancing finances, career growth, and life's many responsibilities. When she's not working, Jessie enjoys traveling, spending time with loved ones, and getting lost in a great book. Good job. Jessie, I'm so thrilled to have you join us today. You're perfect for our topic, which is financial spring cleaning.
Yes.
So financial spring cleaning. Let's dive on in. Why is it important? So when we say financial spring cleaning, we mean basically getting yourself together, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Get yourself together. Very good. So why is it important every year to take time to review your finances at least once a year?
Yeah, well, no, that's a really great question. And so one thing that people don't tell you about adulting and life after, graduating, maybe it's high school for you, college, even if you go get your master's, life comes at you and it comes at you fast. And so when life starts coming at you fast, it can kind of be easy for you to fall into, maybe some bad habits, such as spending wise. And some of those bad habits, when you get busy, can fall to the wayside.
Yep.
And some small problems can snowball into bigger ones. And maybe that's not always the case for everybody, but, speaking from a little bit of experience here, and adulting is hard. It is very vital to take a look at your finances. I learned this, even just at my job at ECU. I'm like, wow, I really do need to care about these things. I need to tell my money where to go if I want to be financially fit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, within our financial institution where we work, we're responsible for maintaining our own departmental budgets and things like that. And when you can see how successful an institution can be when they maintain a budget, maintaining a personal budget sort of reveals its power to you. Like, oh, if I can do this at work, I can definitely do this at home. Right?
Exactly. And so one of the fun things, an analogy I like to put together is, you can look at spring cleaning your finances or reviewing your finances similar to a closet clean out. I don't know about you. I don't know about listeners out there, but I know for me, spring comes around, we're getting ready for summer. I'm like, okay, what's been in here for a while?
Does this bring me joy?
Yeah, does this bring me joy? Do I even wear this? If it goes unused, it's out, and then that way I can make room for the new. And so that's one perspective to put it into. And whenever you're doing that, whether it's a closet clean out or your finances, I think specifically with finances, you can start seeing it's revealing things like you were saying to yourself. So you can start asking yourself questions about your finances.
When was the last time I went to the gym?
Yeah.
When was the last time I used this streaming service? I got it for this show and I haven't turned it on. I haven't clicked on it in 5 months. Do I really need it?
Exactly. Yes. So it's you get to ask yourself, spring cleaning your finances. Where's my money going? Mm-hmm. Also, a lot can change in a year. What adjustments do I need to make? Am I, still going to be able to pay rent at this place, or am I going to get a promotion? If I have more money to manage, what am I going to do with that money in the next year? What goals am I going to set? So really, it kind of gives you a new lens to look at your finances and plan for the year ahead, because you got to tell your money where to go at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Or it's got to work for you, and you got to help it.
The bills aren't going to stop or slow down. So staying ahead of the game by knowing what you're bringing in and knowing what your priorities are. Because even if, now I will say, the topic, financial spring cleaning, at least doing it once a year. And part of it, I was like, well, once a year. Because as a financial professional, as a financial educator and financial coach, I tell my people, at least once a month. Yeah. Your bills are coming once a month. You should look at your finances. But also, as a financial educator and a financial coach, I know that that's not going to happen for so many people.
Right.
So at least once a year, take that one little bit of time. Take that one Saturday. Even if you've had a major life event, even that kind of
Definitely.
take that time at least once a year to really sort of get yourself together.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, what are some simple steps somebody can take? So they're talking about getting it together. They're talking about organizing, but okay, so it's a closet clean out. I'm trying to balance the budget, not decide which pair of shoes to throw away. How do I do this?
Right. So from like a perspective of decluttering your finances, there's a few steps that I have found, and this might not apply to everybody, but I feel like it's a good starting place for anybody who's really like, wow, I just graduated college. I got to figure out rent, bills, insurance. I got to figure out how to manage working 40 hours a week and taking care of, all these things.
Yes.
So it can be overwhelming, but if you have steps to start, urging yourself to take the right direction, I think it's a lot easier. At least that's how I work. So there's three steps I want to share with y'all.
Ooh.
3 steps that have helped me. First and foremost, it would be start by reviewing your bank statements. So everybody should get statements, whether it's mailed or I like to get on our app. I get on the ECU app, shameless plug. Get on the ECU app. I look through my bank statements, and it might not go all the way to a year back, but I can at least see the last 3 to 6 months. Okay, so where has my money been going?
Yes.
You get a grasp of those things like, hey, I downloaded HBO for this one show, but I haven't used HBO since that show.
Exactly.
So you see that. You also might see, maybe your auto insurance is renewed and it's increased, and you were prepared to pay the previous amount. Now you're having to pay an extra, $50 a month. So you kind of get to see where your bills might be changing or increasing, especially depending on the time of year, like, you got your gas bill and everything that. So, there's things like that.
In the summertime, electric bills, trying to keep a place like 68 degrees in an Amarillo July. It's a budgeting challenge.
Yes, exactly. And so that's like, I would say start at least just by getting a grip of where your money's going. Another shameless plug, I love our mobile app. It's free, and one of the things that I enjoy the most out of it is the money management feature. So it's really cool because you can go into the money management feature and it offers you, you can set your own goals. So I have a goal set to pay off my car in 2 years.
Yes.
Is that a lot? Yes. But do I think I can make it happen? I think so, because I'm telling my money where to go. So I set a goal and I can see the progress each month on that goal. You can also go in and make yourself budgets. Like you said, it might be once a month you need to review your budget. So the money management app, you can go and you can see, okay, last month my food budget was $100 and I spent $120.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe cut back on the DoorDash this month.
That's my song. You're singing my song. Cut back on the door.
Yes. And so, it's really cool things like that that are available to...
Yes, and they're free.
Yeah,
they're not an additional, they're not a subscription service. It is your financial institution, and you click yes in our money management portion on our online banking. Mm-hmm. And we even send statements to our members who are enrolled in money management of you spent 17% of your money on restaurants and eating out. You spent 23% of your income on utilities. And I can tell you from personal experience, they also send emails. When you're reaching those budget thresholds, you're projected to exceed one budget category. That's how that email starts, just so you know. So it warns you. You get that information, and it makes your finances really hands-on, basically.
Yes, yeah. And, there's other tools out there. I think it's like Rocket Money or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a wide variety of products.
I've looked into those, and, they're great. They serve the purpose. You get... The thing of it is, you get a 7-day, 15-day free trial.
Yes.
And then after the free trial is up, it's another subscription. So, that's another bonus. Get out in your community, see what your credit unions and your local banks can do for you to help you manage your money better.
Also, and as a financial coach for Education Credit Union, our financial coaching team, budgeting is sort of our specialty. So if you don't want to take the time, or if you have already taken the time to review your budget and see, oh, here's where I'm overspending, or I don't know where I'm overspending, I've looked at everything and I think I need everything here, or whatever. Yeah. Our coaches are designed not only to find ways to help you manage a little better, but connect you with resources in the community that might be able to offset some of those costs. If you are paying too much for insurance, well, we can maybe help you make some calls to see different quotes. We can do other things to assist you to maybe lower your monthly payments, not just advertising products and services or connecting with loan products, but really fundamental financial guidance of here's how you build a budget and here's what you're looking at long term. Our goal is basically to help you save. So yes, and it's free.
Yes.
Free every time. So
No, that is perfect. And yeah, I've used our financial coaches too, like myself. So I know there's major benefit in meeting with one of our financial coaches to help you.
Now, this is also an opportunity anytime somebody evaluates their finances, whether they're doing great or whether they need a little work or whether they need help. No matter what, there's always that opportunity to sort of reevaluate their habits. What are some things that you might have noticed, like when it comes to altering money habits?
Yes. Well, yeah. So from personal experience, I know, I'm an introvert at heart. I love a good DoorDash on a Friday evening, and there have been times where I have heavily exceeded, my monthly budget for dining out. And, I see myself slip up in those ways. Sometimes convenience overcomes your goals that you have set for yourself. Same with coffee. Like, hey, yesterday was a rough day. I know it's only Wednesday. It's not my Friday treat day, but it's Wednesday and I need a Starbucks. So I'm going to stop by Starbucks and I just might stop there Friday too.
And that is absolutely fine. There we go. Yes.
And so I've noticed myself kind of, there's been times when I've slipped up on my goals and maybe I haven't been able to put more towards, my auto loan payment like I had wished because I decided to go for the extra coffee. And so again, that just brings me back to my first point. You kind of have to you have to hold yourself accountable and find tools and resources that can also help you hold you accountable. And then, like you said, even with creating a budget, that's the second step. So you get a grip of your statements and where you're spending your money, and then you sit down, and I'm not a big Excel sheet person. There's some people that go all out with their Excel budgets, and I admire them. I wish I could be them.
By all means.
But I'm a list maker. So you know what I do? I sit down after I've reviewed everything, look at the notes I made, I don't use this subscription. Maybe for my entertainment budget, I cancel this subscription and I lower my budget for this. So I can pay more money into bills. Because you got to take care of the main things first. So, you got to have your food, you got to have your shelter, and you got to have your bills.
Absolutely.
Groceries.
Those priorities. Yes. Those fundamentals. These aren't going to change no matter what you're doing. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So just take a time, and even if it's just breaking it up into a few small categories, do your necessities first. Make sure everything can be met there. Make sure everything can be met there. And then maybe you look into, okay, maybe I do have a separate budget for my entertainment. Maybe I, go out and with friends twice a week. Or
$5 movie night.
Sorry,
whatever.
Twice a week. Twice a month and have a good time. And then
I'm gonna cut it down to twice a week. in esta economía.
But no, so you cut your entertainment budget back, and maybe you do you go out a little bit less, or you just be more mindful of your money.
And I love that. And one thing I really love is there's a person in our senior leadership. I adore their perspective on this. It's because it's not that you're not having the coffee. It's not that you're not going out with friends. Yes, fundamentally, that's what you're not doing. But you're going to take the money that you would have gone out with friends with. You're going to take that money for that coffee and apply it towards your goal. Yes. You've heard me talk about budgeting many times before, and I always refer to it as a map. And because so many people like to think of it like a limit. And again, not necessarily wrong. But to me, it is so much more useful to think of a budget like a map because you can detour. You can go out with friends. You can have that cup of coffee or whatever your fun thing is.
Right.
It's just going to take you longer to get to where you want to go. A map isn't going to tell you no. It's not going to tell you my GPS does tell me proceed to the route pretty often. But, and so does my budget.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can sort of detour and then get back to what you're trying to do. And so decluttering, creating those habits of at least checking in with yourself, at least checking in with your map every once in a while.
Yeah, no, and that's perfect. So that's a perfect leeway into the third step. So after you've reviewed your bank statements, after you've made yourself a simple budget or a big budget, whatever you want to do, now it's time to put your plan to action. So this is when you pick up the phone and you say, hey, my auto insurance is too high. Can I get a quote with you guys instead? Maybe you minimize your weekly coffee budget. Maybe, you cancel that unused subscription, or maybe you haven't been to the gym in a hot minute and you need to just go ahead and say bye-bye. And so really those 3 steps have kind of helped me achieve my financial goals at the pace I would like to.
Yes.
So review your bank statements, get a budget, and just put it to work. Like start making the changes.
And I would add, and not even add, I would supplement the 3rd step with get somebody who cares about you. An accountability buddy is how I often refer to them, but like an accountability partner, whatever you want to say. Somebody who've communicated your goals with, who has no vested interest. You don't need to tell them all the secrets about your money, but you do need somebody who's going to be your cheerleader. Who, hey, you said you're only going to go out once this week, but I saw on social media that you like it. Or hey, I know you canceled your gym subscription. You're not going to the gym with us anymore, but so are you taking that gym membership money and what are you paying off? Like, is there somebody to sort of push you towards that success? Yes. And the other thing I would add about building a budget is building a budget you can live with. Again, so many people think it's a budget is like an I can't statement. Like, here's only what I'm going to do, or trying to fit yourself into a box. I hope you enjoy the money that you earn using your knowledge, skill, time, and talent. I think everybody does. And so finding a budget that you're going to actually stick with. I can still do my fun stuff. I can still save a little bit. I can still reach this goal. Trying to tighten your purse strings too much fatigues people a lot. And so it makes it less pleasant of an experience, and you're not going to want to keep up with it.
Right.
So make your budget fun, make it work for you. And then, get somebody who cares. And you've done it. And I've watched you do it. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're really good at being awesome. And
I
so is there anything else you would kind of sort of share with it? What's some really great advice that you wish you had gotten straight out of the gate, straight out of high school, straight out of college?
Ooh, so that's really good. I think just to wrap up into this episode today, you can think of your financial spring cleaning as a fresh start. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a boundary where it's like, no, I can't do this. It could be the boundary that you set for yourself. Like, I still can go and buy a book this month to enjoy, or I can still go buy my coffee this week to enjoy. You know where everything's going, so you know what's happening.
Yes.
It's really, I wish like somebody would have told me that money isn't as scary as it actually appears to be, because I just never, I just like grew up and I was like, money's there, but then you got to start managing it. And it's like, oh, wow. Okay. And so
it goes quick.
It does. And if you don't tell it where to go, it goes even quicker.
It'll just wander away. You won't even know.
It'll walk right out the door. And so, my biggest takeaway would just be, put a plan in place now, one that you can enjoy, one that you can reach your financial goals with. And in the long run, you're going to realize like you have so much more like control over your money. Like, you're telling it what to do for you, and you're, paying off your student loan debt sooner. You're paying off credit card debt. You're getting your first car and having your auto loan paid off. So maybe you can move on to the next. Maybe you want a mortgage.
Yes.
And so if you plan now, my hope for everybody would be that in your future, you see the financial prosperity of being disciplined.
Exactly. That's what a budget is. It's sort of building that internal discipline for yourself so you can reach future goals. I think so many people, and maybe you've observed this too, so many people really sort of self-defeat, like, I'll never be able to fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. And if you make that a financial goal, because it does have a price tag, whatever your goal is, it has a price tag. So if you make that a financial goal and create a plan to sort of reach it, I think so many people, if they just get to that, build a budget, this is what I want, here's my way to get there stage, I think they will see the possibilities before them, and it'll make it a little easier to stick with if they so choose not to get an accountability buddy. But you should do both. You should make it work for you. You should have a goal that you can really strive for and care about and put it to work. Because I think if you care about the goal, you're going to be more likely to really try to make your budget work.
Agreed.
Jessie, it is always a pleasure. Chatting with you is one of my favorite things to do every day. Thank you so much for sharing your time and expertise with us and with the audience. I know they appreciate it. And as for our audience, thank you so much for joining us once again here on The Core. A new episode drops the first Friday of every month on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time.